Welcome back to the shop. We're going to be putting the front airbag brackets and cutting and modifying those to fit. So let's get to it. Alright, so we're back on this. I'm going to cut this bracket. You can see how far it needs to go that way and then back in that way, because it's just not lining up for its position for ride height. So we'll get this piece out and start cutting it up and getting it to where we need it to fit, and then we'll get to the other side. So we put it in its position where it needs to be. Yeah, that bolt hole doesn't line up at all, but it still needs to be shorter for the compression. So we're going to do a lot of cutting and get this thing a little bit shorter and moved over so it actually sits here where it needs to and in its position and back. So we're going to cut this whole bottom plate off and then take 2 inches out, and then we'll shrink it, move it over, and re-weld it. So hopefully when you'll see it again, it will be where it needs to be. Alright, I'll cut a part for the first part. We'll get that bolted back in, and then we'll see how much we need to cut off of that and get it in its position. Alright, so we got the bottom plate bolted in. We're adjusting the section we cut off of it to make sure that we can get the bag to line up for the travel, so we don't have any rubbing or any of that stuff. We don't want to wear the bag out, but we need to have full compression without the bag being compressed and riding on the bag. We want it to be on the bump stops when she's fully compressed. So we definitely have a couple more inches to take out and then adjust everything to fit properly. So it'll probably take me a while to do this. We'll be back when we got it tacked in position and we think we have the up and down travel perfect. Alright, so we cut it down a little, like 1.5 inches we took off of it, so it definitely needs to be about there. This side, we got to take a wedge out at the bottom, push it over this way and in to get it to sit right for compression. So now we gotta drop it all the way down for ride height to see where it sits if I do it that way, because we gotta have it almost level for ride height compared to compression. Like, it's complicated, but we'll get it. Alright, so we notched it there, took a wedge out on this side, took that much out for this corner, get it to bend over. We'll put it in the vise, bend this side this way and then this side this way in to pull these 2 corners in so they match the plate on this side, because this side's going to sit where it needs to. So we're going to have the other plate like this and then cut that one to match this one for the driver's side. Alright, so we got the bag where we want it for our travel. So when it comes out, compresses completely without squishing the bag and breaking the bag. Once we put the bump stop in, so now we can weld this all in all the way around for where it needs to sit. So we'll cut the other side, do the same thing, and then we'll get both of these welded in, and then we'll get our spindles back on. The old axle over here, he's like, lovey, checking out my work. So we'll get on the other side, we'll get that one all cut up, and then we'll get to putting the expansion on. Alright, so we got that plate off, and I got my thumb. Yeah, gotta love the cutoff wheels. Fucking thing jumped. So I'm gonna go find a band-aid so I can get that covered, and then we'll come back out and cut that section off on this one, and then we'll get the other side welded in, and then we'll get this side mocked up to where it needs to be. So I gotta go cover that motherfucker up because that's a good one. So I'll be back in a minute or two. I might go smoke a fatty. Fuck, I'm taking a break. A little bit more tweaking. Alright, so we got this side all tacked in now. So I feel like I need to move it over a little bit. Pretty much full compression. We'll definitely make sure that these edges aren't sharp, they're all rolled over. Especially here. Looks like we'll be okay. For ride height, that's definitely good. Out of the way. Yep. That should be perfect for ride height, so. Especially if we're gonna put triple bags in. or triple billows, because these are just doubles. If we want more lift, that depends on after we put the spindles on and everything. We definitely still have to cut the sway bar bracket off the frame and bend this nose corner after we get the spindles on and the steering all hooked up and everything. So stay tuned for the next one. We'll finish up welding these and straighten the front of the frame and get the expansion on so we can put this on the ground. So till next time. And we did find a band-aid. We double wrapped it. Definitely a lot deeper than I thought it was, but should be fine for now. So